Alright guys, so we are back once again with another episode of the F1 2011 Career Mode Championship. This will be the penultimate episode of this series, and here we are for Abu Dhabi. Now just bear in mind, I've read your concerns from the previous episode, and yes, I do agree that the previous episode was lacking a little bit of action. For some reason the AI were like 2 seconds a lap slower than me in the race, and I don't know why. The AI on this game are just so inconsistent from track to track, so you never know what you're going to get coming into a race weekend, and maybe Abu Dhabi may be one of those ones where we possibly really struggle. You just never know. Abu Dhabi looks so colourful. 2011 was probably one of the most bright and colourful games made by Codemasters. Nice corner cut. It almost seemed like it was cartoon-like. What? Oh, what? That was an engine failure. Unbelievable scenes. I forgot this was actually a feature. Nah, come on. I'm actually shocked. I'm genuinely shocked, and I can't go back far enough to see what actually happened there. That is ridiculous. You just see, just going in backwards into that barrier with smoke going everywhere. That is one of the most, dramatic retirements I've seen to a qualifying session ever. Hopefully, if I go to retire, we've got 100% total damage. The speed of the crash was 124 kilometers an hour, but at the time of the engine blowing out, I think it was much quicker than that. But, wow. I'm going to try and see if we can get a replay of what just happened there. No, hang on. Before we do that, let's go and have a look at the results and see who's on pole. Really? So here we go, this is us on our qualifying lap. We're coming into the braking zone. Bear in mind I'm trying to brake as late as I can for this corner, and then bang, straight away the engine blows in the braking zone, and that's us out of the qualifying session. We'll get a replay from the third person cameras if we can. Maybe even slow it down here if I can. And that's the moment. That's the moment where the engine goes kaboom, and we were KO'd out of the qualify. Look at just look at that. Like, the car going backwards into the runoff area. I've got to say, I'm glad there was runoff area and not like a barrier there waiting for us, or even another car. That could have been disastrous for us there, but we are out of qualifying. We're starting from the back here for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We're in with the likes of Karthikeyan and Trulli, so you know we're in a good position for the race. But yeah, probably the last thing you want when you're in a massive championship fight like this, with Mark Webber, who I will reiterate again, starts on pole. It's time for the race. I'm not gonna lie, we have a mountainous task upon us in this race for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Starting from last place, we have to beat our championship rival, Mark Webber, to take the championship lead heading into the final race of the season. Away we go for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Heading into turn 1, we'll see what we can do. We are starting on prime tyres, so we're going to be taking the pain a little bit at the start of the race here, but we're going to finish on... What the hell was Kovalainen doing there? We're going to finish this this race strong on the option tyres and absolutely smash through some of the leaders if we can. We're just going to take the pain early here on a set of primes because we're going to get held up by the traffic so much anyway. We may as well not waste the options on these guys. That's sort of my thinking here. So hopefully by the end of the day it can help us. So we'll see how we go. And you never know, there may be a safety car as well which may help us. Look at the weaving. All the weavage that is going on here. D'Ambrosio. See you later, pal. We'll head into turn 1. Did I say turn 1? Oh, he closed the... These AI are so weird. They're so awkward into some corners. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm going to try around the outside. If we hang it in here, it turns to the inside for the next right-hander. Had to shift down there for 4th gear in order to get the nose in, because we were going to understeer wide into the path of DiResta there. But we've got him. P14. Next up, it's Kobayashi. Nice. Not so nice. Come on. Drag race between myself and Kobayashi. Surely that's no competition. Oh, jeez, we almost wiped out Buemi there. I'm so sorry. Kobayashi's still there. Oh my god. I just can't get rid of this guy. A lot of cars are pulling into the pits now for their scheduled stop. The engineer said, thank you. The engineer said I could have came into the pits that lap, but I strongly was against that because I know how busy that pit lane would have been. So we're going to push now, qualifying lap now until we come into the pits, and we'll put on our set of option tyres and blast home. Oh yes, that was nice. The AI are a bit slower now that their tyres are going off. Alright then, into the pits for a set of option tyres now. Someone, like 1 or 2 cars, have actually carried on for another lap, doing 7 laps on a set of option tyres. I could have gone even longer then on my current set, but here we go. Let's have a good pit stop, boys. How many seconds? 2, 3, 4. We're being held for a Force India. That's caught 7.1. That's such a terrible transition into the pits. Fuck. I now get the horrible feeling that I've stayed out a bit too long on my set of primes, and I'm really wasting this current set of options. 4 laps until the end of the race now. Okay, Barrichello pulls into the pit, so that's going to help. Anyone else? Anyone at all? Only my teammate. Williams, worst strategist in the whole Formula 1 paddock. Why would you pit Barrichello? Why would you take him 8 laps on a set of tyres, even on a set of primes? That is completely wasting your option set, but either way, we're going to carry on. Thank you. Basically everyone is running on the prime tyres right now, engineer, so cheers for that. Here we go, put it up in the fast. We've got 2.5 laps left, and we're going to pass Heifeld up the inside. We've overshot the corner and Heifeld gets us back. A few cars have pulled into the pit lane, so that's a few extra positions for us. Fastest lap on the previous lap, and back up the inside of Heifeld there. That was intense. There's a big train of cars here right in front of us. We only got 2 laps to get these guys, but that is a lot of positions and a lot of points we could get back if we can get these guys. Oh, yes. Around the outside of Schumi.
Final couple of laps. If you're going to pass this guy, it needs to be now.
Do I dare do it? Do I dare? Of course I dare. If there's a gap, I'm going to go for it. Oh, I shouldn't have gone for that. That's screwed us up royally. Either way, Kurz, DRS on Rosberg, the slipstream on F1 2011 is the strongest of all the F1 games. We're going to make full use of that heading into this braking zone. Up the inside of Rosberg we go. That's position 8. We currently have 4 points up against our name now. We're going to get in front of the Ferraris and the Lotus here. That's another, what, 6 points just there in those 3 positions. So, let's do it. Oh, Massa defended nicely there. He just moved over enough. He didn't have to compromise himself too much, but he just moved over for me to just jump on the brakes a little bit harder and avoid passing up the inside into the final corner. The closing speeds into the braking zones, I must say, are ridiculous on this game. But the inside of Massa, got him. Alonso. Okay, here we go. Oh, Jesus. Bloody Nora. Here we go. Final couple of corners now. All we've got left is Petrov. I don't think P4 is... I think P4 is definitely out of reach. There's only 2 corners left to go in this race. Mark Webber, worst nightmare. He's won the Grand Prix. We're going to have to dive bomb Petrov here. No. Nah, no way. There's no way. I thought I was half a chance there. I screwed up some of the corners there in that final sector of the race. But P6... very solid drive to come back from after starting in last place and getting that engine failure at the start of qualifying. 18 positions we made up in the space of, how long was that? 18 minutes. A 20-minute race. That was pretty intense. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Definitely so much more action than what was happening in the previous episode, but Yeah, that is it. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix has been done and dusted. Mark Webber takes out the victory from Jenson Button and Sebastian Vettel. We finish in P6, gaining 8 points to our championship tally. Unfortunately, Mark Webber is going to eke out a bit of a lead here, and we'll see what that is right now.
You're still second in the Drivers' Championship.
20 points. 20 points is a lot. It's a massive, massive margin heading into the final race of the season. But you never know. You really do never know what might happen. What Mark Webber may have another race like he did in India and finish a little bit down the order. So long as we can win the final race in Brazil, then it's all down to Mark Webber and where he finishes. The Red Bulls have been shocking in terms of qualifying and even race pace at some tracks. So that's what we need to hope for in the final race of the season for F1 2011 Career Mode. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed this series, make sure you leave a like. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to see plenty more racing game videos to come in the not too distant future. But that is this episode done and dusted until the season finale of F1 2011 Career Mode, which will be out sometime this week or this weekend. I'll see you guys next time. Hey, we got an offer from Toro Rosso. That's a thing.